It is weird that this is my next topic, and to start with, I need to exclaim quite clearly that no matter what you may say, think, or do, I am sure I am not a racist. It's kind of funny that those are the first things I have to say when I'm talking about the heritage I come from and why we have a right to be proud of our own heritage. But yeah, you see, my skin color is white, and therefore it is not okay to be proud of my heritage, which is weird considering what my heritage brought the world. This text came to me via. So yeah, I had to look at it. First off, what is Norsk.com? Well, I looked at it, it looks like a survival site. Does that increase the value of the text or decrease the value of the text? Well, no, not really. And I have to admit that 95% of this text I can agree with completely. But people will already call us sexist or hate us for anything we do based on this text. Even though the text clearly says we don't care about skin color, we don't care about race. We don't apologize for our skin color, but we will not ask you to apologize for yours. We can be proud of our heritage. We can be tolerant of other ideologies as long as they do not interfere with ours. If you live in the Netherlands or in the UK or in America and you have a religion that claims that whatever your God tells you is more important than what the culture of that country feels, then I'm sorry. Either you live in our house by our rules and you're welcome, or you do not. If you do not want to live in our house by our rules, why do you want to live in our house? Now, of course, there is one religion that is quite clear on this. Why do they live in our house? Because they want to overtake our house. We're not to mention that. But there are certain aspects that are not so clear. For example, black lives in America. Are black people part of the culture? Well, it depends. Certain black people definitely are. But those are not the black people that are advocating bullshit things like Black Lives Matter. Don't Black Lives Matter? Yes, they do. There are black people that embrace Western society. They are part of our culture. They're black, but they're part of our culture. There are Chinese people who are part of our culture. There are Arab people that are part of our culture. These people are usually, well, black people that are called Coon or Uncle Tom because they do not want to buy in the bullshit of people that do not want to be part of our culture. They want our culture to change for them, though. They want to take everything our culture has given them, but they don't want to be part of this culture. The same goes true for homosexuality, bisexuality, or any form of sexuality. People, why do I have to care with whom you sleep? Do you sleep with me? No? Then I don't have to care. It's as simple as that. You're not part of my family, but you're allowed to have your own. And for example, if you were to sleep with my brother and my brother is okay with it, who am I to disagree? So then you would still be part of my family. And yes, you would sleep with my brother. Who cares? My brother has to care and he's okay with it. So who am I to say no? We favor equal opportunity for both genders based on actual skills and inherent biological limitations. I'm fired up, I have to admit. This is simple. Men and women do have physical differences. Feminism keeps telling us that's not true, but they do. There is no man in this world that can bear child. And physically, there is no woman, no trained woman that can compete with a trained man. Because biologically we're different. Gender neutrality is a farce put on us by feminism, put on us by people who like to claim that, well, we all are the same. No, we are not all the same. We have the same value though. Why can you not see the difference in that? Now here's the one thing I don't agree with. We, however, embrace traditional and primal male skills, characteristics and behavior. You know what? Yes, I agree with that, but the same is true for traditional female skills, because they have skills too. Again, men and women, not the same, but equal. And for that, white people are condemned. It gets better though. I'll show you more, don't get me wrong. So why do I feel I need to make this little rant? Well, that's the thing. We have people within our culture, people who are white themselves, who are negative towards white people. Because you're a fucking white man.
You're fucking a white male! So? You're a white man!
As if this is an argument. As if white people are to blame for everything, and if you do not agree with the fact that you are to blame as a white person, you are bad, you're a racist, you're a KKK member, you're a Nazi. From all the races out there, the whites are the only one who aren't allowed to be proud of their heritage. How come? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not in favor of Nazism. I'm not in favor of discrimination. But why can't I be proud of what Western culture has achieved? And the Western culture has achieved this mostly by the hands of white men. And white women, fair enough. But what's the problem with acknowledging that and being proud of that? And yes, I do say white because Western culture is mostly white, but there have been high achieving black people in Western culture. There have been high achieving Asian people in Western culture. It doesn't matter. The Western culture is inclusive. It doesn't matter what your background is. Once you are part of the Western culture and you embrace Western culture embraces you. There are plenty of white people who voted for Barack Obama in America. Neil deGrasse Tyson is famous. Eddie Murphy, Morgan Freeman, the faces I showed you a moment ago, they don't only have black fans, they have loads of white fans too, because they are part of our culture and we celebrate them. Yes, the word celebrate, I had to think about it, but does fit it. It's not about their skin color, it's about what culture they belong to. And white people on average belong to Western culture. But we can't be proud of what we did as white people. We can't be proud of our heritage. Because once we do, we become racist. Why can't those two things be different? Who decides that me being proud is me being a racist? I don't understand this. And the worst part is our world's population is growing. We have more people in the Middle East and in Africa that need help. But who do they need this help from? From the Western cultures. And the Western cultures are falling over themselves to help, even at their own expense. We are slowly going into an era where food, which already is a problem in certain parts of the world, will become a bigger problem. Only one culture has actually worked on trying to increase the food production, which is Western culture. But we ignore that. Wars have been a big problem. By overpowering themselves, Western culture is trying to prevent war. Of course, this is being answered by starting guerrilla wars and terrorism, but Western culture is trying to put a halt on this. Slavery, Western culture forbid it. There are plenty of things Western culture did right, but we're not allowed to say it. And this is a problem. Is any race a problem? No, it's not. I'd say that white culture, white pride, Western culture and Western pride are basically the same thing. And I understand it that there are people that think that because you say white pride, you only care about white people. But that's not really fair. And at the moment, we are forced to care about white people because our own society is turning against us. Does this mean that we do no longer care about people of what we call minorities, which really aren't minorities? No, we still should care. Black people have a part in our society too, as long as they want to have a part in our society. Same for Asians, same for Arabs. But as soon as you start advocating how my rights don't matter because you don't feel my rights matter, we have a problem. And the answer to that problem cannot be, okay, here are my rights, you can have my rights. We should have equal rights. And you're advocating for more rights for one and less for whites in a predominantly white society. And I'm not going to be nasty and say, well, look how Zimbabwe treat their white people. I'm not going to go into it too much. Why are we allowing people to denigrate the majority of a culture if that culture is the main reason why they have the wealth they have? I don't understand this, people. I'm going to kind of finish my rant up here, but we do need to address this, people. Our society needs to address this. We are being fooled by our own media and by people within our society that having a dissenting opinion means you're a racist. We live in a society where we are forcing people to become more right-winged because it's the only way they can go. This is a society that says that Steve Bannon, the owner of Breitbart, is a Jew hater. Don't mention that most of the people that worked for him, well, not most, but a bunch of them, were Jews, and they themselves claim this is bullshit. But still, this point is being pushed forward by, well, by whom actually? Don't you understand that by doing this, we are forcing people to take up stances against this, forcing people more towards the right? And it's not about being all inclusive or not inclusive at all. It's that white people are being excluded, and the only thing they can do is let you know, but we're here too. And we're no longer going to take this. If you're being discriminatory against a white person, you are being a racist. There is no power versus privilege bullshit thing going on here. Discrimination is discrimination. And it's never good. Anyway, this is my 2 cents. I'm more than willing to hear your opinion, whether you agree or disagree with me. If you still think that, well, I'm a racist, I'm sorry. I've said all I wanted to say about that. I don't condone racism, so if you are going to respond, I would ask you to do so in a polite manner. And other than that, criticism, as always, is more than welcome. Please like, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I will see you all next time.